within you. I give you complete spaced within
I see
you.
your mind. Is the mind of the entire universe.
Spaced
I
within
see
you.
that you teach me the way that you guide me with your love. The entire universe
Sets me free.
I
complete reliance is based within you. I give you my heart. I see your mind is the mind of the entire universe. The way that you teach me, the way that you guide me with your love sets me free. Oh, Lama, care for me, for I am plagued by turbulent emotions. Protect me, and from the center of my heart rise up compassionate Lama, my only refuge. Oh, Lama, without you I would not have seen my true mind. I give up everything to you, for I believe that you will never give up on me. Would you? Oh, Lama, care for me, for I am plagued by turbulent emotions. Protect me, and from the center of my heart rise up compassionate love of my only refuge.
The Refuge Prayer. I go for refuge until I am enlightened, to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly, by the accumulation of merits of practicing generosity and so forth. May I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge until I am enlightened, to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly, by the accumulation of merits of practicing generosity and so forth. May I become Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge until I am enlightened, to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly, by the accumulation of merits of practicing generosity and so forth. May I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. The Four Immeasurables. May all sentient beings have happiness and the causes of happiness. May all sentient beings be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May all sentient beings never be separated from the happiness which is without suffering. May all sentient beings abide in equanimity, free from both attachment and hatred, holding some close and others distant. The seven-limb prayer. Reverently I prostrate with my body, speech, and mind. I present every type of offering, actual and imagined. I declare all my negative actions accumulated since beginningless time, and rejoice in the merit of all holy and ordinary beings. Please remain until the end of cyclic existence, and turn the wheel of Dharma for living beings. I dedicate my own merits and those of others to the great enlightenment. The short mandala offering. This ground, anointed with perfume, strewn with flowers, adorned with Mount Meru, 4 continents, the sun and the moon, I imagine this as a Buddha field and offer it. May all living beings enjoy this pure land. Idam Guru Ratna Mandala Kam Niryatayami.
Yeshua, you can start.
Okay. 관계 도쟁에서는 또와 담제 관계 담배 취는 된다. 부담된라 저제. Hello everyone. I hope all of you are fine and healthy. It's great to meet you, to see you again after 2 weeks. Also using the Dharma knowledge with you. So we have this opportunity to Dharma gathering because of our karma. So our karma, we push here together to gathering Dharma activity to develop our mental positive mind through the practice, right? So also we can say we are developing our intellectual intelligence, our wisdom, compassion, right? So these are very important in our life because we have to challenge with the negative emotion, negative thought. So if we know how to challenge, how to deal with the negative emotion, then we can control our mind, right? So if we know more about our mind, it's easy to control our mind. So therefore we learned a few topics within since last time, right? So I hope you also help is for you a little bit. So today we have 2 topics, right? So I think that you remember. So let me also, so we create a motivation. Beginning motivation is very important. So motivation, just as mentioned in prayer, I'm going to listen and teaching all this benefits for all sentient beings, include you, your family. Also, I'm going to listen the teaching, so benefit you achieve Buddhahood for all sentient beings. So Bodhicitta, motivation, Bodhicitta is best motivation, right? So let me use share screen, my presentation. Okay. Okay. So last time we learned about for 5 error functioning mental factor, right? Just a short review of the first one. So you remember this is 5 error mental factor or function mental factor. So first feeling, and if you remember, then let me know.
Recognition,
Mhm.
contact, perception, and attention. Attention.
Right. The first feeling is there are 3 different feeling, feeling sufferings and happiness and neutral, right? This one recognition. So recognition, they recognize uncommon characteristic of object, right? Last time we looked at 2 picture. So that recognize so specific object among this or group of people, right? So that's a function of recognition. And the intention or perception. So intention or mind move to object. Intention function is mind move to object, right? And contact. So sensory power. So sensory power is the contact to the mind to object, right? If mind not contact to object, then mind can't perceive what is object, right? And attention. So attention to the recognition, not same, right? Attention to focus on a specific object. So if the man mind doesn't have attention, then can't focus specific object, right? So these are 5 error mental function factors. So all man mind have all these mental factors, right? One missing among these mental factor, then man mind can't work, right? And next one is the 5 ascertaining mental factor. So you remember what's 5 ascertaining mental factors? If you remember, then let me know.
Aspiration.
What?
Aspiration.
Aspiration, right. Aspiration, right. And next, second.
Belief.
Belief, right. And
Mindfulness.
mindfulness, right.
Concentration.
Concentration, right. And last one,
Wisdom.
wisdom, right. So these are 5 ascertaining mental factor. So one man mind to perceive any object. So need these 5 mental factors. So first the aspiration. So if missing aspiration, then that mind can't know any object. Also, aspiration is very important to do any. So aspiration, first we have aspiration to do any work, any activity. Then you try to start on that activity, right? So then next one, belief. In beliefs, this belief actually not just belief. So belief is interest to do any activity. Not normally I believe you, not like that. That was belief. But this means belief means to interest, to engage any activity, right? And mindfulness. If there no mindfulness, then you forgot object. So mindfulness keeping object continue, right? Then concentration. So concentrations, if we focus on any object, your mind. So because your mind has, mind has concentration. So concentration, your mind keep going on focus point, this concentration, and wisdom. So wisdom also very important. Wisdom also antidote of ignorance. So also when we know any right, wrong, we analyzed right, wrong, any situation, any event. So we using the wisdom. So intellectual, intelligence. So some person says something, you follow that. And sometimes a mistake because some people telling the lie, right? So if you have wisdom, then you can analyze. And that person say right or wrong. And then later you realize by your valid cognition. Last time we learned valid cognition, right? If you follow valid cognition, then you can judge without knowing by the valid cognition. If you judge, but sometimes mistake, sometimes okay. So until know by your valid cognition, then you don't judge, right? So valid cognition, know any object, that is true, no mistake. So if we follow some invalid cognition, then mistake. Okay. So today, new topic. Yeah, sorry. New topic. 11 righteous benefactor, right? 11 righteous benefactor and 6 root afflictions benefactor. So we have 2 topics. So actually, mind is divided very many different categories. So valid cognition, invalid cognition, and conceptual thought and non-conceptual thought. So many. Here also, mind divided. Mind is divided 3 categories: righteous mind, non-righteous mind, and neutral. Right? So righteous mind, man mind has benefactor. Then how many benefactor? There's 11 benefactor. All righteous man mind has 11 benefactors. The company 11 benefactors. Benefactor is a company, right? To helping to know object, to engage object. So then or righteous mind bring happiness, right? So non-righteous mind brings suffering. This cause and effect. Righteous for mind never brings suffering. Non-righteous mind never bring happiness, right? So therefore, we accumulate merit or virtue because in the future it bring happiness because we want happiness. We don't want suffering, right? So then first faith, right? Faith. Yeah, faith. And second one, shame. Third one, embarrassment. Some translation different. So in Tibetan to English, so they're using different word, but here also shame, embarrassment. And the fourth one, non-attachment. Fifth one, non-hatred. Sixth one, non-ignorance. So here, attachment, hatred, or anger. So, and ignorance. These three we called three portion. Three portion. Attach, hatred, ignorance. So we call three portion. If we eat the portion, we will die. So this is very dangerous. So attachment, hatred, ignorance. Okay. So it means if these three are rising, then we get suffering. So seven the enthusiasm, right? Eight one blind. Ninth one conscientiousness. 10th one equanimity. 11 non-harmfulness. 11. These are 11 righteous mental factors. So all men righteous mental factor has these 11 mental factors. So righteous mind or discriminate from the delusions or negative mind. Okay, so then let me talk one by one, more detail. So first, faith, right? What is faith? What is faith? A faith is actually very, very pure mind, very clarity or purity mind, and aspiring belief and to which the regard to the quality of the object is antidote of faithlessness. Regarding to the quality of object is antidote of to faithlessness. Right. So faith is or belief. So actually belief is very pure. So all beliefs are not faith. So belief or wish to the holy object, holy things or holy person. If you are believed to a holy object, things that in your mind, that is failed. That mind is very pure, very clarity. It's not mixed negative thought, negative emotion. So prayer is very, very important to practitioner, to spiritual practitioner. Because if you don't have faith, then you don't engage to do Dhamma activity. For example, Buddha came to you. If you don't have faith, then you don't attend his teachings. You don't attend his teaching. You don't take blessing from him. You just ignore because lack of faith. So if you have faith to Buddha and your Guru, then you to attend the teachings so on. Then you will get so many positive information, right? So if you don't have faith at that person, then you just ignore what they're saying. Therefore, your intellectual and your emotion, positive emotion, never improve because of lack of faith. So, but blind faith is not so good, right? So blind faith like this. Some Buddha, we pray to Buddha. One day Buddha came to me, and Buddha he will to me heaven, like that. That is blind faith. It's not good. It's impossible. Buddha never can take you heaven. Buddha he told, I show you where, I show you path. Go or don't go, depend on you. I show this path. If you go or you don't go, it's up to you. But he can't take you that your destination. He can just show you right way. Okay, so like this path is very important to practitioner Dharma, right? And second one, shame. What is shame? I think so. Many people, different culture. Shame is different concept. Maybe you have different concept about shame. According to Buddhist psychology or Buddhist philosophies, shame is a mental factor and avoid to engaging in negative action by taking oneself as the reason. So shame or it's the avoid engaging in negative action by taking oneself as the reason. For example, like this. So if you are trying to cheat one person, right? Or then that time, if you don't have shame, then you do what you think. You cheat that person. But if you have shame, oh, I'm not going to cheat this person, because if I cheat this person, then I'm accumulate negative karma. then I will get suffering. So birth taking runs as reason. Also, you trying to the killing the person, then so at this this kind situation, right? Then you thinking like this: oh, if I kill this person, I will get punished. Maybe I have to go to jail, right? Then I will get suffering a lot. So by taking oneself as reason, sense of shame, by taking oneself as the reason. If I do like this, I will get that. If I do like this, then I will get that. So like this, or this kind of sense of shame, this is shame. It makes sense. It's clear, right? Okay. So like this. Also, you taking by reason. I'm a practitioner. If I do like this, because I'm practitioner, I should not do. Because I took vow. Some person they took vow, so I should not do because I took vow. So Bodhisattva vow like this. So taking ransom as the reason, right? Third one's embarrassment. So using the word here embarrassment, but meanings sense of shame. Sense of shame by taking other as the reason. Almost the same. But what's different? By taking reason, other as the reason. Shames by taking reason, by taking oneself as the reason. Different like this, but almost the same. Sense of shame, right? So, for example, this embarrassment. If you kill that person, kill or to cheat, abuse, or then that also, if I cheat that person or if I kill that person, they will get suffering. It's not good. So, but taking other as the reason, because they will get suffering. It's not good. They're suffering. Also, if you try to telling lie, you don't have embarrassment, then I'm going to try lie. What other thing? Doesn't matter. You just ignore what others think, other people think. You just ignore. But that was lack of embarrassment, right? It makes a sense. It's clear or different shame and embarrassment. So use the translation in English, shame and embarrassment, but meaning like this: a sense of shame, but taking oneself as the reason, a sense of shame, but taking other as the reason, different like this. So these two, being these two, it's very important to stop negative activity, to stop to engage negative activity. For example, to killing and cheating, abuse, right? To tell lie, so on. If we have being shame and embarrassment, these two can't practice so many negative activity by our three doors: bodies, mind, and speech, right? So if you don't understood clearly, then let me know. Okay. It makes sense, right? Okay, good. Then for the non-attachment. So non-attachment, attachments, attachment actually one of 6 root afflictions. So I'm going to more detail about next topic, right? So attachment, but non-attachment is mental factors. That mental factors free from attachment. Basis for not engaging in negative action, especially attachment. So in this mental factor, this non-attachment mental factor discriminating man-mind from the delusions, from the afflictions, delusion or afflictions, or negative mind. So because of especially attachment, because of function of this non-attachment, so means man restless mind discriminate from the delusions, because man righteous mind has a mental factor as non-attachment. Actually, this non-attachment or not engaging in delusions, especially attachment. It makes sense? Actually means man righteous mind not engage with the negative action, in negative action, especially attachment, because that man righteous mind has non-attachment mental factor, right? It makes sense? Okay. Then fifth one, non-hatred. So hatred is one of the 3 person. Also attachment also one of 3 person. So we just before I talked 3 person, attachment, hatred, and ignorance, right? So this non-hatred is the mental factors which is free from of animosity. So this mental factor, so righteous mental factor function is man mind not engage in negative action, especially hatred. So we can say like this also, non-attachment discriminating man or righteous mind from the delusions mind, so afflictions mind, especially hatred, right? So what is hatred? So I'm going to talk next session, next topic. Okay, then you after next topic, then you can get more clear. Sixth one is the non-ignorance, right? So non-ignorance is mental factor which is free from ignorance, right? Free from ignorance, moreover, which is able to act as the antidote of ignorance. So non-ignorance actually wisdom. So therefore, non-ignorance antidote of ignorance. So part of wisdom, non-ignorance part of wisdom. So man righteous mind not engage with the negative mind, especially ignorance. Because of that, man righteous mind has mental factor as non-ignorance. So this non-ignorant is very important because just before we talk about this wisdom. Wisdom is very important to do any action is right wrong. If we don't have wisdom, then we are like blind, right? So in the Buddhist text, they mentioned the six parameter, six perfection. So six perfections. One is wisdom, right? So wisdom is that in among the six perfection, wisdom is most important. So six perfection like this generosity and morality and patience and effort and meditation and wisdom. So wisdom can remove ignorance. Wisdom is wisdom and method. So another as method. So generosity, morality, passions, effort, meditation. These are method. We can divide two categories: method and wisdom. So we have to practice together. So there are the six perfection of six parameter, right? So if there's no wisdom, then these parameters like blind. So let me see sometimes in sky, it's bird group of bird. So flying from here and there. There's one leader who leads bird from group of bird from here. I think so. You have seen some bird group of bird. One is go past, and another birds follow that bird group of bird. Sometimes 6 or 7, 10, more than 10. So we call this leader is not blind. Another bird is blind. So if that leader, if they know that leader, then another birds can't fly here and there. So without wisdom, then another perfection, like blind, like the blind or group bird. So blind or group bird, they don't know where should go, because they don't have eye, and they don't have leaders removed from the group like this. So wisdom is very, very important. So if we achieve Buddhahood, then we have to cut the root of ignorance by the wisdom, right? So wisdom is very important. So you're using your wisdom. This is right or this is wrong. Okay. The next one, enthusiasm, right? Enthusiasm is a joy in virtue, moreover, which is the antidote of laziness. Enthusiasm is actually effort. That effort joy in engage virtue or engage positive activity. if you have joy to do Dhamma activity, so that is enthusiasm. Also, that is effort. But all effort not enthusiasm. For effort, some effort to do use the negative activity, right? That is effort, but not enthusiasm. Enthusiasm, effort or joy to engage the Dhamma activity, so positive activity, right? Also, this antidote of laziness. If we are laziness, then we don't take action any. Without taking action, never achieves your high aim, right? So we have to effort, right? Okay, then when the pliancy, right? So pliancy is the work ability, body and mind that come about through the having served the continuity of physical and mental destructive tendency. So pliancy, if we do practice something again and again, many times, then one time it come naturally without effort. That is pliancy. Do to again something, do again. Then later, without effort, it comes naturally. For example, you are learning to typing, so your computer. Beginning is very difficult to typing very fast. Then you try again. Then later, you can type your computer very fast. We don't think this letter here, this keyboard here, you don't need to think about that. Your hands, your fingers very fastly taps whatever you wish. Like this. So happening like this, you have to effort. So if you become like this, very fast typing computer, the typing letter by your computer, you have to spend a lot of time. You effort a lot. 1 day, 2 days, never happen. You become very fast typing, right? You have experience. We have all experience. Not easy. So do very often, very often. Again. Then later, this come naturally. So in Vacha's mind, do again. Then that mind go to positive side naturally, because pliancy. Also recently we saw some player, for example, football player. They very famous, some football player. They very, we can't do like this, but they have to very skillfully follow here and there, right? By the fruit. But because they practice a lot, then later they come naturally. Like this, our mind also do positive side again. Then later, our mind come to positive naturally without effort. Continue. So that is blind-see. Okay. Then conscientiousness, right? So conscientiousness also very important or very useful in our daily life. So it is the awareness, conscientiousness awareness, and is not under the of the afflictions while abiding with enthusiasm within non-attachment and non-hatred, non-ignorance. So this conscientiousness or you being modest. So conscientiousness stop to engage negative action by three doors. Well, our three doors, three gates actually means three behavior. So mental behavior and speech behavior and body behavior. Three doors we use three doors or three gates, also three behavior, whatever you can use. So this conscientiousness to stop negative three doors, to stopping negative three doors. If we open the door, then people or animals can come inside, right? Or can go outside. But if we close the door, no one can come, no one can go from the door. So similarly, if we close three doors, so means that then negative action can't come inside. It means that we control our negative activity by our bodies, by our speech, body. We create sometimes we killings and stealing, so on. Speech, we telling lies, speaking harshly, so on. In the bodies, we mind, when we attachment, echo, right? Anchor. So if you have beings, conscientiousness, then stop to these three doors. In our daily lives, we have so many problems because we can't close our three doors. If you are conscientiousness, then you can close three doors. You can't enter negative activity in your house in your mind, right? So this conscientiousness is very important. Also, you beings modest. Conscientious, if you have good conscientiousness, you beings modest. Your three doors, right? Okay. Then equanimity. Equanimity is mainly Mandra, equipose and free from the three portion. So this equanimity is not engaged with the delusion. So equanimity discriminating man-mind from three portion. So we can say equanimity is non-attachment, non-hatred, non-ignorance. So equanimity, actually, when we meditating or concentration meditating, so then there are two obstacles. One is mind wandering, your mind go here and there. One obstacle, mental thinking, your mind go down, come sleep. So these two obstacles. Now you're meditating. So then you analyze. So these two obstacles come or not, you analyze by the awareness. By awareness. So if your mind is keep going on your focus point, at that time, don't analyze it. Just keep that. So that is equanimity. Just keep that. Your mind let go, continue in your focus point. Your mind is keep going on focus point till you investigate, also analyze it. Then that is obstacle. Your awareness become obstacle because your mind keep going on your focus point. At that time, don't analyze, don't investigate. Just keep that. That was equanimity, right? Okay. Then last one, non-humbleness. Non-humbleness actually a part of compassion mind. So this non-humbleness actually aspiration. Compassion is aspiration. Compassion is mental factor. Which mental factor? Then aspiration. So this mind wishes sense of being to be free from suffering. It is without any harmful intent. So man virtues, man mind, not engage harm other, because that man mind has non-harmfulness mental factor. Actually, this non-harmfulness mental factor is aspiration, and what aspire? Sense of being free from suffering. So compassion, this is part of compassion. Okay. It makes sense, it's clear. If you don't understand, then let me know. Without hesitation, okay. Then next one, 6 root afflictions. So second topic, 6 root afflictions. First one, attachment. What is attachment? Yeah, you can say.
To want the others to make us happy.
What?
Attachment is like you have an interest that the other one makes you happy. So you like because you want something back.
Okay. Okay.
Attachment is a desire.
Yeah, desire, same. Yeah, desire, yeah, attachment or desire, same object. First element one by one. Okay. Attachment, and second one, anchor, and the priority, and ignorance, and sixth one, doubt, and afflicted view. These 6 root afflictions. Attachment, anger, priority, ignorance, doubt, afflicted view. Okay. Then attachment, anger, and ignorance. These are three portions, right? Because these three meant the source of problem among three, and ignorance, root of all the problem, ignorance. Therefore, the wisdom is very important, because wisdom is antidote of ignorance. Ignorance is source of all the problem, all the divisions. Okay, then let me talk one by one. So you already answered this attachment or desire, right? So yeah, attachment is delusions. One of the three portions is the wish to beautiful outer or inner object, right? Okay. And based on the distortion of the attractiveness. So wish to the beautiful outer or inner. So attachment or desire. So to wish that is for the beautiful outer and inner, right? So this attachment is disturbing to see real nature. Disturbing to see real nature. Because when we are arising attachment, then we put so many extra information to object. For example, that object you like, that's one specific object or specific things or person, right? So actually that person or things has a beautiful part, 50%, right? 50% beautiful or 15% pleasant, nice. But your distortion mind put at extra beautiful 50%. Then object seems 100% beautiful, 100% pleasant, 100% nice. Actually, reality, that object, things or person has 50%. But our mind, distortion mind, create 100%. Then arising the attachment. Attachment holdings that object is beautiful, very nice. But reality, nature, really nature is not 100% beautiful. Sometimes object 30% beautiful, but arising strong attachment, then 70% at misinformation, right? Extra 70%, so unreality, beautiful unreality, pleasant. Therefore, this attachment or desire can't see reality nature. You're arising, if we are arising attachment, then we can judge that is it, that's wrong, right? It's mistake. Because we can't see exact reality nature, because attachment blocked to see real nature. Okay, so it makes sense. It's clear, right? Okay, then next one, anger. Anger is opposite like this. Opposite of attachment. Anger is harmful intent towards sentient beings. One of the three person. Anger is great that the negative quality of object. So anger, the action functions opposite of attachment, desire. So one object, actually reality object is 50% unpleasant, 50% unpleasant. But your destroy mind put extra unpleasant, not nice. Then arising the anger, because this anger also can't, anger also obstacle to see real nature. Also, anger is very, very dangerous mental attitude. If we are arising anger, it destroys our all positive. So some Shantideva and the Chandrakirti, the text mentioned, short anger can be destroy your karma. So 1,000 eons karma, you accumulate 1,000 eons karma in your mind. Short anger can be destroyed. So anger is worst destroyer our mind, our righteous mind, our positive mind. So anger is like tsunami, right? If tsunami come, then all destroy, or city, or land, plants, everything destroy. So like this, if anger arising in our mind, then all destroy our body and mind, right? So anger and attachment block to see real nature. For example, if you have very good relationship with your friend, also your family, also you have very good relationship with your boyfriend and girlfriend, also your classmate. But at that time, very good relationship with that person. At that time, you see that person is very nice, very beautiful, very nice, very pleasant, right? After that, you break up your relationship, friendship, also any, so on. After that, when you see that person, very unpleasant, looks very, that's black. When you see that person, then you get anger. The anger is arising to that person. Actually, that person is same person. Because why come this? Because your distortion mind adds misinformation. Extra misinformation add to that person. So we have experience like this, so many in our life, because this attachment and anger. why this attachment in anger? Because we have ignorance, right? We have ignorance. Because ignorance to see block all really nature. So then next one is prati is the ego. So arrogance. As if you have prati, then you don't listen other. If you don't listen other, then you will not get good information from the other, because you blocked to receive good information from other. Blocked by your pride, also arrogance or ego. So if you so much pride, then other people don't like you. Then you very difficult to listen other, don't listen other, right? So actually, they in text they mentioned the 7 varieties, but I'm not going to talk one by one. For a few example, so if you interactive one person is more better than you, but you feel like this. He is not better than me. We are same. So this is also pride. Reality, that person is better. But sometimes another person is much more better than you. But you say, that person is little better than me. That also pride. Right? So sometimes one person is little worse you, but you say that was much more worse than me. I'm much more better than him or her. That was the pride. So that is there are few 7 pride. So it's all, I don't need to talk one by one. Okay, men's, we have to learn this this session. We reduce attachment, anger, and pride. Right? If we, as much as we can reduce this negative, then we will more happier. We will be more happy in our life. Okay. Then fourth one, ignorance. Right? So ignorance, I talked very often now. So ignorance is most source. I can say ignorance source of all the problem. Ignorance means unknown. Sometimes we don't know what is happening in the future, what happened in the past. We don't know because we ignorance. We don't know. So ignorance, like this, actually, sometimes I talk people. So in one city, and there one circle, so many people go here and there. One person come there, and he who brings a glass box, okay, glass box, put something in that glass box, any object. Then then that person covered that glass box, so black paper or black plastic. And then he asked all people, what is there inside this box? So people don't understand. So people don't know what inside, but they suggest, maybe there's a flower, maybe it's money, maybe clothes, maybe photo, any. There are so many different answers. Why come different answers? Because we don't know what is exactly inside that glass box. Why we don't know what is the inside that glass box? Because that glass is very transparent, very clear, but covered, black paper or black plastic covered that glass box. So that black paper or black plastic block to see what is really inside. So that black paper or plastic is like ignorance. Ignorance is like that black paper, right? So can't see really nature. So we mistake so many things in our life because ignorance. We have very thick ignorance. So recently, since pandemic, right? Coronavirus. So we are so much scared. Fear, go outside. I will get virus infection, right? We have so much experience, all the people in the world. If we have, because we don't know where is virus, right? Who is positive? We don't know. Therefore, we using masks, sanitizing, so many we have to do because we scared to get virus infection. Because we don't know where is virus. Because ignorance. If we are not ignorance, then we know virus there. I go there from there. Virus come from there. We go this side, right? Because we don't know. Because ignorance. So like this, so many things happen in our lives, mistake, because ignorance. Therefore, we have to study. If you know new things, one ignorance remove from your mind. If you know new situation, you remove one ignorance. So on like this. Okay. Then doubt. Next one, doubt. Doubt is manufactured. It's prevent you from the engaged ratios. So if you doubt or some person says something that you practice this, and then you get this benefit. But you doubt, or that person says something, I'm not sure, maybe it's your doubt. So that doubt prevent one from the engage in virtuous activity because doubt. So sometimes doubt is good. If you doubt, some person says doubt, then you investigate, right? Using your wisdom. Then you know, realize by your value cognition. Then you can follow what they say, right? But this doubt, this negative emotion, negative manufacturer. So some people say something very pure motivation, but you doubt maybe like this. Then they stop to engage negative or positive activity, right? Then the sixth one, the afflicted view. Afflicted view is little difficult to understand. Actually, there are 5 different afflicts view, but I'm just short introduced one by one. First one, the view of transitory collection. Transitory collection. The view of the transitory collection. So that means when we try to find I, right? Where's I? Your body is I, not your mind. I, not. Then so some view, I is not dependent on another, other. Your I not depend on your body. Your I not depend on your mind. That view, that is first view. Your I is independence, not depend other. Actually, reality, our I depend on our body, our I depend on our mind. But that view, your I not depend on other, independence. But that view was the view of transitory collection. Okay. Next one, supreme view. Extreme view. So extreme view, I and my. The object of first view is not actually object of first view is there. I is there. My bodies, my speech, my feelings, aggregate is there. But second view, it is not there, not existing. So extreme view. Then third one, grasping view as the supreme. So grasping the view as supremes, it means so first view and the second views actually not perfect. What the wrong view, both are not perfect. But third one, the focus first view and second view, and that these two views are supreme, perfect. So third one is the grasping view as supreme, means second and view and third, first view and third view, and second view are perfect. Okay. Then fourth view is grasping at wrong moralities and disciplineness as supreme. So this fourth one view actually wrong view, morally wrong view. For example, if you go to their fire, if you jump to fire, what happens? You burn your body, right? Then you get suffering, right? But if I jump to this fire, so remove my ignorance, remove my delusions. If you practice like this, that is wrong morality. If you fire your body in fire, it's just burn your body, but it's never remove your ignorance or delusions. That is wrong moralities and wrong disciplines. Disciplines actually you practice wrong practice, wrong behavior, negative behavior. You believe if I do like this behavior of animal, I'm getting better. In my life is getting better. Like this, that is also wrong disciplinary supreme, right? Then wrong view. The wrong view, there's so many wrong view. So there's no karma, some that's that view. There's no karma. Whatever we do, they never come negative result. If we do negative action, if we take negative action, never come negative result. So that like this. There are so many negative, so many wrong view. No karma. There's no karma. as the but with the if you practice compassion, you get happiness. So you that's not true. That is not true. So that will also wrong view. So on like this, right? I think so. Time is almost. So today. So I hope you understood. So then next actually we have the 5 groups. Yes, you know 5 group.
Dear Geshira, I haven't sent to them. After your announcement, I will send
Okay,
to
okay.
participants.
Okay,
Yeah, thank
okay,
you,
okay.
Geshira.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then let me actually there let me she divide 5 group. You are 5 group, and the next session you have to talk. Okay, your turn. Right? So I give you this topic. 5 group, 5 different topic. Okay, then first let me share your topic. First, could you not down? Okay. The first group, you have to talk about the phenomena in general, permanent, impermanent, or impermanent from non-associated competition factors. Okay. Second group talk about consciousness, and for conditions. Okay. Then third group talk about conceptual thought and non-conceptual thought, right? And fourth group to talk the valid cognition and invalid cognition, and some way of knowing. So fifth groups you have to talk about mind and mental factor. So you don't talk about mind, but mental factor. Mental factor there 4 here. Whichever your interest, you can talk about 5 error functional mental factor, or 5 ascertaining mental factors, 11 virtuous mental factor, or 6 root affliction mental factor. Whatever you can talk this, you choose. Okay. Then how you talk. Then this I think so. You know this. Think, pair, share, right? Think, pair, share. You not know the think, pair, share. Okay. Think, pair, share. Okay. So next session, you have to talk. Thing means there are 2 weeks, right? Yeah, 2 weeks coming the next session. So first week you think yourself, think your topic, about your topic, you think, and I think so. Your group member should meet next weekend and sharing, discuss. Pair means discuss with your group partner about your topic, right? Then you all your group member discussing about your topic. Then your summary, note down about your topic. Then next session you share all us, and another group member can ask you. So, for example, group number one person representative talk about your group topic. So I'm announce your name. Then we we have 2 people. So our group topics like this. Then you talk 10 minutes. Each group talk 10 minutes about your topic, right? it makes clear because it's good for you remember what you learn. Also, it helps to know more clear and more deeper. Also, you review all over topic, especially your topic, your group topic. Okay, it is clear. How do you do?
Yes, Keshia. May I know if each group member has to talk or one group, just one person talking is okay?
Yeah. One person. Next session is the group member, one representative of your group. You have to talk 10 minutes each group.
Okay.
Before that, your group members, one day you make appointment through online or offline, and you discuss your topic, and you get summary, and one person represent of your group, and that person to talk next session.
Okay, understand. Thank you, Keshia.
Okay.
So I will announce the grouping list to the
Okay.
participants today.
Yeah. Actually, the last time is 18%. Yes, today is 15, right? So 18% divided 5 is what's for 43? Yeah, 43.
Okay.
43. Yeah, you divide all, not all Sangam or Sangha group, but who attend session. 18%, I think so. 18%, 18 people divide 5 group.
Okay. Thank you, Keshia.
Right?
Okay.
Then they represent talk about next session.
Okay, understand.
Also, another group member can ask them, because this very good for review, also remembering what you learn. Also, it's very good for unforget in the future. Right?
Yes.
Okay. Is
Thank
clear
you.
all you what you should do? If you doubt?
Yes. Yes, clear.
Okay, then good. Then next time your turn. I'm student, right? I'm listener, you're talker, right? Okay. So think pressure, things for your thing all over the topic, especially your topic. Then share next time your group member meeting online. I think it's online. Then you discuss, and then you discussing finally with our group views like this, concept like this. Then one person talk next the session that share thing and share this technique of Western technique to teaching. I think so. Many of you know this in college and university using in the Western country, right? So before I participate science workshop, teacher from the Western America, teacher, very famous teacher, they was using this technique. So that technique is very good to learning, also unforget, also to know more deeper, more clear. Therefore, we have to use this technique, right? Think, pray, share. Okay. Okay, thank you. See you next time.
Okay, thank
Okay.
you. Now
Also, sorry. You can read one text. I've mentioned this textbook. There are two books. Book. Let me. Book this Science and Philosophy in the India Buddhist Classic. So there are two books. First volume talk about physical world object. The volume second talk about the mind. All detail, all Buddhist the text collect. So you can buy this book from Amazon. So I will send link these two photo, then you can share all the student, all the members, right?
Okay, okay. Thank you, Keshila. Yes.
Okay, then. If you're interested to read this more detail, there's so many information. If you more know about the mind, there's second volume. So if you know more about physical worlds, so forms, Latin, we learned the impermanent, permanent, right? The forms and so on. So the all detail, all ancient India, the master, they taught, collected by the holiness, his vision, the two book. Okay. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. So shall we go into the dedication prayer?
Okay.
The dedication prayers. Due to the merits of these virtuous actions, may I quickly attain the state of a Guru Buddha, and lead all sentient beings without exception into that enlightened state. May the supreme jewel bodhicitta that has not arisen arise and grow, and where it has risen may it not diminish, but increase evermore. Just as the brave Manjushri and Samantabhadra too realize things as they are, also I dedicate all these merits in the best way, that I may follow their perfect example. I dedicate all these roots of virtue, with the dedication praised as the best, by the victorious ones thus gone of the 3 times, so that I might perform the noble Bodhisattva's deeds. Master Shantideva's Bodhikayavatara dedication. May all beings everywhere, plagued by sufferings of body and mind, obtain an ocean of happiness and joy by virtue of my merits. May no living creature suffer, commit evil, or ever fall ill. May no one be afraid or belittled, with the mind weighed down by depression. May the blind see forms and the deaf hear sounds. May those whose bodies are worn with toil be restored on finding repose. May the naked find clothing, the hungry find food. May the thirsty find water and delicious drinks. May the poor find wealth, those weak with sorrow find joy. May the forlorn find hope, constant happiness, and prosperity. May there be timely rains and bountiful harvests. May all medicines be effective, and wholesome prayers bear fruit. May all who are sick and ill quickly be freed from their ailments. Whatever diseases there are in the world, may they never occur again. May the frightened cease to be afraid, and those bound be freed. May the powerless find power, and may people think of benefiting each other. For as long as space remains, for as long as sentient beings remain, until then may I too remain to dispel the miseries of the world. And the prayer for Venerable Namgyal's online Sangha. May beings everywhere, all interdependent, with needs and desires the same, avoidance of suffering and achieving nirvana, attain the state of full enlightenment. May we abandon all attachment, anger, and ignorance, leaving behind all sorrow and suffering. May our members and benefactors be successful in their activities to benefit sentient beings. May all supporters of VNOS be well and happy, free from illness, fear, and harm. Be strong and humble in our Dharma practice, united in compassion towards each other. May the organization always be nurtured with loving generosity, respect, and joy, and extend the Dharma out to all who need it for the benefit of all sentient beings. The Long Life Prayer for all spiritual mentors. May the spiritual teachers who lead me on the sacred path, and all spiritual friends who practice it, have long life. May I pacify completely all outer and inner hindrances. Grant such inspiration, I pray. May the lives of the venerable spiritual mentors be stable, and their virtuous actions spread in the 10 directions. May the light of Losang's teachings, dispelling the darkness of the beings in the 3 worlds, always increase. In the long life prayer for Venerable Gen Losang Namgyal La. Wisdom, light of true compassion, source of Tara's love maternal, Losang's doctrine perfect holder, we request your life eternal. Teacher, Father, Mother, Guru, we entreat you live forever, guiding all to liberation, perfecting our minds forever. With your always skillful guidance and profound compassionate ways, shining Tara's light eternal, guiding to her Tathagata mind. Om A Guru Vajradhara Samanti Vijaya Sarva Siddhi Hum. Om Tare Tutare Chure Guru Samanti Vijaya Ayur Punye Janana Pushtim Kuruye Soha.
Okay, thank you all. The class is done. Thank you, Geshe-la.
Thank
Okay,
you.
thank you everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Geshe-la.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.